What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're cruising over to the shop today. Unfortunately, last weekend we weren't able to get much of any footage for you, unfortunately. We had a bunch of guys out there, a bunch of people out camping. It was a blast, but the problem is got a little hung up doing some riding. Had a little bit of equipment issues. My new camera wasn't in yet, so we're gonna get some footage next time. Unfortunately, it looks like it's gonna rain this weekend, but I have some pretty cool stuff coming in. We're gonna go ahead and tackle that and go from there. But something come in today. I think we're gonna crack them open. Somebody's looking at me. Just a small town here. That guy's holding the camera. What is he doing? He's crazy. No, I'm not crazy. Well, I might be. I am crazy, but I'm filming this video for you guys because I think you might find it inspirational and interesting. But we're going to cut to the shop here, and I'm going to show you what I got. And I also have some stuff that's kind of secret that I just purchased the other day. I think it's definitely going to help out the channel, so catch you at the shop. Oh, it's so dark in here. What the heck? What do we got going on here? Just go ahead and click this light on here. Or not? What the heck? What the heck's going on here? Holy crap, let me get some lights on here. God dang. You guys are wondering why the heck is this in here and why is it tore apart? Well, I'm not surprised because I do actually know what's going on with it. So it's kind of a weird thing. Ironically, I haven't showed you the surprise yet, so we're going to do that for what we're doing in today's video. We were installing something on this one because little did we know, or little did I know, that Shane went out and purchased literally the same concept as what we're installing on the blue one today. Didn't tell me, didn't discuss it with me, which is fine. I really don't care. I do a little bit. Well, we were fiddle farting around with this. We were putting those in, and rock lights quit. Don't know what the heck it was for the longest time, but what we did figure it out, and it comes out to be right here in the switch plate, right there. This SOB on the back side. Have to remove all this. We've got a fuse block back there and a bunch of other stuff. But right behind here, we had an issue with one of the wires. We have to resolder it. Everything is good to go. I'd click it on for you, but key is not in there. So everything's working there, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what we picked up. Huge shout out to them. Huge thank you. They hooked us up with a great deal. And we're gonna do. I don't want to do, you know, one video on a testing a product or anything like that. I just don't think it's real. So what I got here in the pickup is I got a set of lighted whips, and they're from an awesome brand, awesome dudes out there. 5150 hooked us up with an awesome deal. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these out of here. Try not to damage anything in the process, and we're going to go ahead and crack these babies open. Here we go. This is what they came in. Nothing crazy, just a box with some whips. So first things first, I had to crack it open here just to make sure everything is in there. First things first, we got our wiring loom, which is actually really nice. Heavy duty, good to see that. Then we've got something else in here. Bam! These are your magnetic whip bases through 5150. See if you can see these here. So these are the magnetic whip bases through 5150. Solid design. Gotta love that. America, baby. America! America! Nice design. So there's two of these. go ahead, put these aside, come in a nice little baggie like this. Then there's not much left in here. So there's no remotes or nothing like that because it's all done Bluetooth. There's an app on your phone. It's pretty sweet. It does your music, it does your sequential, bunch of different stuff. What's really cool is I know a lot of us guys out here, we run custom colors. Well, these whips, you can actually go on the app and do custom colors. So without further ado, here's the whip itself. Nice metal base for your magnet. 5150 branding on the bottom. Not the tightest wrap I've seen on some of the whips that we've had, like for example the ones that Shane bought. They have a little bit tighter of a weave. I guess that's personal preference to some people. Some people like them where they're a little bit cleaner looking, where it's more of a, more separated wrap. Very cool looking flag. I've never seen a flag that's almost see-through. Decent quality. None of these flags are really, really good, but very cool that that's included. There it is. There's your little 3-foot whip. And we're going to obviously do control features and blah, 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 stuff like that. But let me grab, here's the other one here. Right here. Again, branding on the bottom. Same thing. Nice 5150 flag on the top. Very cool. Now I'm gonna regret this because I'm probably not gonna get it off, but I'm interested to see. I think it's something like, correct me if I'm wrong, 36 something foot-pounds that you need. Here, let's get this on there for you. Not quite as strong as I would imagine, to be completely honest with you. Oh, but they have almost a clicking. There, see that? There's a nice little click in. Let's see if we can, oh yeah, there we go. God dang, son. So if it's in there and it doesn't, see, there's that click. When it, Jesus Christ, when it clicks, it clicks. Let's see if we can get that for you again. And then wait for it. That's the click. And until you get that click, I'm actually quite impressed with that. So I'm going to quickly grab the ones that Shane bought and we're going to do a little comparison on them. A little bit different. They're both superb whips. We're going to see how they function and everything alongside with that. So let's grab those other ones. Guys, check this out. So these are the ones that Shane had purchased. Gradmas whips. Yes, they are just like the 5150s, very durable. In fact, quite surprisingly durable, as is the 5150s. Unbelievable how they can make these now. We've gone through so many different brands and so many different kinds. You'll see the ones that are on the 14, that company went out of business. Kind of like a mom and pop shop type of thing, but bad luck with them on the bases. We had another brand. I think we had Shane had 3 sets of those, and they would snap right in the center because they decided to put an acrylic tube right on the outside rather than a heat shrink. Well, they figured it out. 5150 and old grandma and granddad over here, they figured it out. So let me show you the difference here. So the ones that Shane picked up, I don't know if it's going to focus. So these are grandma's whips here, and you can see really tight wrapping on the LED RGBs there. Very, very tight, very nice. The other thing I did notice, because you can see here the 5150s, not quite as tight of a wrap, but definitely a bigger strip. It's very interesting. Let's see if we can put them side by side. The RGB is a tiny bit bigger, a little bit thicker of a coating on this one. The bases are very similar, only Grandma decided to invert. Come on. So this is the 5150. So they have a design where it's a whip into a cup design, whereas they've completely done it backwards on the Grandma's whip. Definitely a little bit smaller compared to the 5150. There's it with its base cup on. Definitely a different size. And it's definitely shallow. So if you see on the Grandma's whips, it's only, that's all it is. And I'll bring you up to the top up there. That's where we mounted those. and we're going to show you the difference between the two of them. The other thing that's something notable is the plug sizes. Grandma's whips right here, nice big plug. It sees my face and it just loves my face, but everybody does.
It's just my nature.
Then you've got 5150. We've run both styles of these. I haven't had any problems with the small one, haven't had any problems with the big ones. They're very similar in height, very similar design, period. So I'm excited to get these bad boys on the blue one, and then we'll go through and show you how these Grandma's whip look on the turbo. So we're pretty stoked about this. So bear with us. So we got to get that blue one out of the camper, and then we'll go from there. Okay, let's go ahead and get this blue one out of the camper. I'm going to set you guys up. We'll get this sucker unloaded. Then we're going to kind of address where these whips are going to go. The old ones are on the top of the cage. About 30-35 degree angle on them. They look sweet, they perform very well, but that other style of whip we had didn't work out very well. So we're going to get this out and kind of go over it, see where we're going to run all the wires and stuff, because we already have power ran. Now I've got a whole loom of wire with the controller. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. So we'll go on that journey together. Well, didn't get no time lapse of that. Unfortunately, the camera has let me down already, but no big deal. So we got her undone here, unloaded. Everything's still good, except for these have taken a bit of a problem. Taking a bit of abuse. Gotta have to do some cap for this. But blew that one completely out. So anyway, so this is where we have them currently. We got to see if we can get the bolt undone there. I already have power. Need that. We have power ran here up through the cage, which is super convenient. This is where we had them at one point. Not going to use these 3-foot whips. They'd be way too tiny, way too small. Now we got to fish this big thing through here. Let's get her pulled around by the red truck and start looking at this. Alright, here's the dilemma. This is what was on here before. All it was just, it's kind of hard to explain. It's pretty much threaded into a collar that was welded onto our cage. That's what we did years ago. Great design and worked awesome. Okay? Literally, hardware store adapter welded to the cage. This bugger right here threaded right into the top. Now, ideally, you know, if the 5150 base cups mounted directly to it, that would be ideal. Well, unfortunately, well, fortunately, I suppose, this design right here, fine thread. This design right here, coarse thread. No bueno. So, I have a thought. I think it's going to work, and I think it's going to be pretty clean, save us a little bit of time. Instead of cutting the whole collar off the cage and then re-weld the new one, that means running to the hardware store and all this other stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that nut right on top. We're going to take the threads out of the base cup on the cage itself. We'll just bore that clean. We'll weld this nut straight on, so when you thread in, the threaded rod will go into the base cup on the machine itself. So we're going to retain a nice rigid design. We'll retain 5150 suggested hardware, bolt up, and everything will be as a factory only. Instead of going through a plate straight through, we'll be going into a coupler. The way that this is right now, this would be ideal. It does thread in, don't get me wrong, but your pitch is different. I really don't want to cross them in there and then have all kinds of problems. So if we waller this bugger out here, weld him on like that, drop him on, he retains the proper threads, get our lock inside there, and I think that will do quite nicely. So I think that's the plan. We'll waller these out, go from there. Alright guys, now we are all ready to tack these buggers up. It's hard to see, but they're all cleaned up. They're ready for welding. I got our old ass welding blanket here, which now I'm pretty sure I have fiberglass on my nose and on my arms. Got the little welder out. We're going to go ahead and tack these nuts on. Yes, I'm going to tack the nuts on. And then we're going to install the base cups and see how they do. So, pretty stoked. Seats covered. I think other than that, man, should be pretty dang easy after that, I imagine. Bolt them up and then it's just all about wiring. But like I said, we already have power ran through the cage, which is a huge time saver. So I'm just gonna adapt another shotgun plug to the end of that wiring harness. And I think we're ready. I don't know what we're gonna do with all the rest of the loom. I really don't want to cut it up because I'm just that type of guy. I'd like to keep it OEM if I can. Guess I changed hats because I'm sweating like a son of a... But, alright, let's go ahead and weld these on and see how those base cups fit. Alright guys, check it out. Welded the nuts on. We're going to let those dry. I'm going to touch up the welds. All I did was put a weld on each side of the hex on the bolt. You can kind of get an idea what I did there. Super rigid, fits perfect. The other side's done as well. You can see that. Right. Bam. Over there. So we're going to let these dry. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and finish them up. We'll just throw a flapper disc on there, clean them up, throw a little touch of paint on there so we don't get no rust. And then we're going to go ahead and throw these bad boys on. Gosh, other than that, hardware installation wise, we're pretty much done. A little bit of touch up stuff. We'll do all that off camera. Shane's going to be here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and work on this as well so you guys can understand why, well, from his perspective, why it's in here and tore apart again. It's very common for the 18, seems like. So I'm going to keep plugging away. We'll wait till he shows up and then we'll get a progress update. I'm glad you guys tagged along for this. Sorry, this content's a little bit more boring than our writing stuff. I understand that, but you know, there's a lot of you guys out there that are interested in seeing what we're doing, what we're buying, what we're adding, what we're destroying. So we're going to keep doing it. If you guys want to see anything in particular, let us know in the comments, man. We love it. We love love talking to you guys, figuring out what you guys want. But other than that, let's see whenever Shane gets here, we'll get back with you. Whoa! What's up, dude?
How you doing, bud?
Oh yeah, you know, just got her whipped out, bud. Just got her whipped. So I kind of went over it with them already, but the base cups on the 5150, the thread compared to what we had on the machine was a coarse thread. What we had was a fine thread on the machine, so what I ended up doing is I wallered out that coupler that was already welded to the cage, and I welded a nut on top. So, nice. So that way the thread drops down into the existing collar.
How did you like for the height?
The height was good. Height was great, actually. The existing pitch that's already on there, it's good.
I told you.
Yeah. Definitely not a difficult installation at all. But yeah, let's take a look at these real quick. So, grab one of your grandma's whips. And I already showed them a comparison, but I want your thoughts on it too. So you can tell, real thick coating, really thick coating.
I don't know if it's thicker, if it's just this one doesn't shrink down so much.
Well, I don't know, it's hard to say. Now tell me with your eyes, see if those RGBs are bigger, because they look like a thicker strip, don't they? Almost. And then if you look at the copper,
the RGB might be a little bit bigger.
I don't know, it's weird, but if you look, even there's cut marks on grandma's whips, and then there's none on that, so it's definitely a different style strip.
Yeah, that's still a cut strip. But
right, no, it is a cut strip, but there's no lines on it, so it's definitely different branding. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh. They're stiff. They are stiff, but from what I understand, there's a fiberglass rod on the inside. Could be wrong on that. But they're pretty similar. I mean,
these ones are just a little more flexible.
Right.
And the cups are inverted, it looks like.
Right, and like I was telling them, right down here, this is all of the... No, it ain't gonna fit.
No, I was just wondering if it was like literally a reverse, but it's not.
No,
where's your base cup?
So here, right in the back of this machine here. Yeah. So you see how deep that cup is? So I'm really interested. So I was trying to show them earlier, but they're up on the top of this machine here. Unfinished, but we're getting there. That is all the more it does. So it only goes in, what is that, an inch?
Yeah, an inch and a half maybe.
And then that's the depth.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more depth on that.
Right, but it's inverted. So like we were talking about earlier, I wonder how the depth.
I don't know. Because I was actually thinking about that the other day. I wonder if these, if you actually hit them low enough, if it would actually pull them out of the cup, which would save the whip.
My wife and I were talking about that. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. They're both fantastically made. I cannot believe how heavy duty both these whips are. Now, hold on. I did the same thing on camera. Put it on and twist it till it clicks. There, you hit the click spot. Or did it click?
No.
Click it. Let it rotate till it clicks.
Well, I'm rotating the inside of it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I could actually. I don't know if you can see that, but on camera. But look,
Hold on.
look, I'm actually rotating the fiberglass inside the whip.
That's odd.
Can you see that even?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely strong once. What the heck? I don't know. Hopefully that.
Theirs is. That's interesting.
So you're.
Oh yeah, hey. Come here, Ed.
Oh, crap. Let me see.
See it?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Is that threaded or is that just pushed in?
I think it's pushed in.
Look underneath.
Like, well, I can't.
No. Underneath here.
It might be. I don't know. That's the magnet threaded in, but I don't know what's underneath the magnet.
Well, I might contact Olaf if
Well,
you want
it's
to see.
not.
Well, no, see if that's normal.
It's not gonna hurt it.
No, but I am
Where's
interested.
the other one?
And it's right over there on the table. I'm interested to see if that's normal, though. Like I said, I haven't owned a set of these
Look
yet.
at how close those ones are.
Yeah, can you push it and move it in or anything?
I gotta see right here. No, this one. Yeah, oh, I can twist it if I try.
Okay.
But-
okay. So what we'll do is I'll contact them and see as well, but we're just gonna get them pushed nice and snug in there.
Yeah, that's a lot nicer than the Gradmas one.
Yeah, it's a lot heavier duty of a. In fact, we have the other one over here, and for comparison, there's nothing wrong with that. This isn't something that's going to be taking abuse.
No, and I actually covered my other one, so
Yeah.
I covered my other one with heat shrink. This one was. They were very honest with me. It took them a couple extra days to ship them, and I asked where they were, and I sent them a text message, and the guy actually called me like 15 minutes later and said, "Oh, sorry, we didn't ship them out because their remote's not working properly."
Right, and we actually did have that. We plugged them into our pickup just to test them. They come on, worked fine, and then we went and put them in here, and it just quit working. So
Yeah, they told me so. They literally called me and said, "Well, it's not working properly, but we can still ship them to you, and we'll send you another one."
Right.
And so we hooked them up and we ran them all night. They just were cycling through every single.
It was in demo mode.
Yeah,
it was in demo.
mode. So, and those have, I think, like 147.
Yeah, but the nice thing, Grandma's whips, or Zippy Designs actually did hook Shane up with a Bluetooth controller when he actually ordered just the what is that, non-Bluetooth RF one. Yep. So that was a really good thing. So both these companies have been fantastic with us. And I'm really interested, like I told them in the video earlier, I don't want to do one of those super heavy duty durable tests, just one video and, oh, this whip's good or this whip's bad. We're going to put them on the machines, we're going to abuse them, use them, we're going to show them off, we're going to have a good time with them, and then we're going to give a good review on them. But as for the 18, what are your plans on this one?
All I gotta do is hook it up to switch. She's ready to rock and roll. Everything's ran. I mean, it's not pretty. I do wish the Gradmas whips had a little more lead to them. I talked to them about it. And they said something about to make them optimized, that they have a certain footage that they want them away from the whips.
Right, sure.
And so I'm not sure, but so off my 4-seater, basically to mount them here, I had to literally drill 2 holes right here to come down and give me enough room to actually go through my center.
Oh, sure.
And then this actually will be sitting here, and then we'll drill a little tiny hole up through the plate that sits right here.
Right.
That'll be the plug to plug the music into it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Anyways, guys, so on this one right here, all I did really was I put the nut on, I ground her smooth down. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know what? It's a razor. Threw some paint on it. Just gonna let her eat like that, bud. Check it out, guys. Further inspection, Shane and I were kind of dinking with them. All this gap that we can make with our fingers is literally just compressing the sheathing on the outside. So the fiberglass rod and the metal base cup here, everything's perfectly fine, super stout. Just compressing the outside silicone wrap there, or whatever, the shrink wrap. So we're gonna pop these suckers in real quick. Just do that. Let's get some live action. Let's see how they work. So both of them are in now. They look good. Hopefully everything works. And look at that. There's one. Definitely don't want to don't want to go into the garage with these buggers on. I feel like here, throw that one in over there real quick. Hopefully they're straight. Please be straight. Did it click? Oh yeah, dude. Not too shabby.
Pretty goddamn close.
Pretty goddamn close. That's how we roll around here, dude. Razor crazy fabrication over here, man. Woo! That looks good. That looks really, really, really sweet. Progress?
Yep.
Guys, we got them temporarily mocked up. They're kind of wigging out a little bit with the program. Whips and everything light up fine. All the RGBs turn on. We're going to give you a demonstration here once we get the 18 figured out. It'll be a little bit darker than hopefully. If not, we'll just run them in the inside. Everything was fine in terms of, like I said, the whip itself was fine. But Shane, what was it doing? It was like kind of wigging out.
Yeah, just like spasm a little bit, like it'd go really light and then bright and then light and bright and really fast.
Right, so we're going to mess with the controller a little bit. There's also some odd things. If I click green, it goes blue. But that's all app related, so we'll get that all figured out. But they do work. Broad daylight, they're freaking bright. So we'll see how they are when it's a little darker. Let's see, so all we got left on this one right now is what? Just throwing the console back together, getting the seats put back in, and then what else?
Just getting power to the whip, like.
Good deal. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and play on time lapse and get this thing figured out. Guys, check this out. So quickly, I'm gonna just run you through. We got all of the wiring done and everything figured out. So we'll start with the blue one. So quickly what we did is we went ahead, ran all your wiring up the side, loomed it all up, got everything put up for the 5150s. Same thing on this side. You can't see it on this side here, but wiring loom on the back side, run up here and then down through this. This is our existing shotgun plug right here. It decides it wants to focus. Shotgun plug, wiring loom. It's already been run through the cage on this one, which is really nice. We come through, just got everything mounted up where the existing stabilizer bar used to be. These are ready to go. Shane did the same thing. Just a lot of this is temporary because we still have to finish welding these brackets on and getting them painted up. But for demonstration purposes, Mr. Shane, you ready to give them a little blast of Grandma's whips?
Yeah, I'll just show my color.
So first off, we had a little bit of issue trying to figure out how we're going to get music to play through them, because Grandma's whips uses a 3.5mm auxiliary cable, so like your typical headphone jack or a microphone. This one is a little bit different. The BLED IM app, it can use Bluetooth through your phone, but unfortunately Spotify doesn't work. So we're kind of working with it. I did figure out the coloring. So as I said in the video earlier, the coloring was kind of an issue. So if I clicked green, it would go red. And then I went to the settings and found out that from the factory it was, what was it? Blue, red, green, so BRG. I swapped it over to RGB and now everything works fine. So that's awesome. But without further ado, would you like to give them a little blast of Grandma's whips? And hello, oh my God, it's so overexposed. Let me see if I can turn that down. Look at that. God dang, son. So these are your very tight wrapped LEDs. So it kind of looks like a rope that spirals around the whip, which is super neat. Look at that. So these are the different colors that you can go through. Let's see if I can get in on that there. Very cool. Very cool. And then these, like I said, they also have the music and everything like that, which is very sweet. And they come out nice. What do you guys think? I think where they're set up is actually not a bad design. Shane's thinking about kind of giving them a little bit of a rake, kind of like the blue one does. So we might address that later on. But look at the difference. Look at that. Look at the different modes. Jeez. Well, Grandma knows what she's doing, huh, bud?
They turn out good. I like them. They're bright.
But at the same token, 5150 knows exactly what they're doing. Here, take this. For 5150, they actually know a thing or two about whips too, and I think they did a good job on them. So as you can tell, the spacing is quite a bit different in terms of whip. But I already have them set up on the app, and they remember the color scheme of this machine that I have set up. So I have kind of a lime green, yellow, and a blue, which is really neat. And I'll come over there and I'll show you. So this is the app that it uses. So if you just want to focus in on this here, so it uses what's called a BLE. So is it BLEDIM? BLEDIM. So this is kind of what it is. So if I go ahead and click this one, it's
not working.
No, that's Zoom, you son of a. But yeah, anyways, so this top left one is kind of just color cycle, and you can cycle through them. These are different modes that you can go through. Very neat, very neat. But then this very bottom one here, if I click and hold, I can select different colors. So you know, M6 right here, or M2. So I like the M9, which is mode 9, so it's kind of all lit up, but it cycles through your colors. But if I want to change from blue to red, so now it's red and yellow, or vice versa. If I take the yellow out, or if I go, let's say teal green or teal blue, whatever, you can do different combinations. Or if I you know what? Let's just, for the sake of it, let's add yellow to that, and let's add green. So now I've made my own custom colors depending upon what you guys have. So I'm gonna go back to what I have, which is there you go, blue and yellow. And you can, like I said, you can speed them up like this. You can slow them down. You can do all kinds of stuff. The other kind of cool thing is if you go into the music player right here, you can select a song, and it kind of jives with the music. Same thing with Grandma's whips. It does it in a different fashion, but the same concept. Very cool. Really, really stoked about that. So far, everything's been really good. Both of them are substantially brighter than the ones that we've used before. Are they any different than from each other? No, except for that one has a little bit more LEDs and this one doesn't. So a guy would say that one might be brighter because there's more output, you know, for the light.
But these ones do actually have a bigger LED than these.
From what we can see, unless it's the outer, what do you call that? The shrink wrap stuff, unless it, you know, it's kind of a mind F, but it looks like it's a little bit bigger of an RGB diode. But what do you think, Shane?
I actually personally like them both. It'll be interesting to see when we actually go out and give them a little bit of abuse, because honestly, from my last set of whips, which we don't bring up the brand, but I've had 5 different sets of them.
No, 3.
No, 5.
Three sets.
No, 5.
Oh shit.
5 sets.
the brightness is a big part of it, but also the durability of the whip. If you're having to replace your whips because they break every other weekend, it doesn't really matter how bright they are.
Right, so we were talking, well, at least I was talking to the boys over at XP1k, and they were saying that they were suggesting 3-foot whips for what style of riding we do. We do a bunch of trees, and a lot of times we're hitting the absolute bejesus out of them, and he's saying 3-foots are a little bit more stout than 4-foots or even 6-foots. I don't know if it's the, you know, the amount of torque or whatever that's on the whip that's whipping back and forth. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I am a razor rider, and I can tell you from our past experiences, this is our, what, second set of 3-foots now? We've always had 4s?
Yep, 4s or 6s.
So we've had 6s break, we've had 4s break, we haven't had 3s break yet, and like a buddy of ours that we ride with, old Greg, send her till she breaks, he had a set of 65150s and they broke, but it was his mistake because a little bit too soft, he slid into a tree right at the base cup and it snapped her clean off. Is that a whip problem? No, I'm pretty sure any whip would break like that. Yeah. But yeah, look at this. This is phenomenal. I mean, both of these are, I mean, it's kind of hard to see. The camera does not do it justice at all. But both of these are super bright. And like I said, it's personal preference when it comes to how you like your LEDs stacked on them. But if you take a step back and you look at both of these machines, they look absolutely killer with the 3-foots on the top. Look at that, man. That is absolutely insane. My machine probably won't start after all this testing, but you know what? It is worth it. I tell you what, you guys, I appreciate you guys coming along for the adventure. You guys have been awesome so far. Tons of views, a lot of support and love. Remember, check us out on our socials, Instagram, Facebook. We have an entrepreneur page, and we also have a crew page, so you can get a lot of behind the scenes look on stuff. YouTube, obviously, we're going to keep uploading as much as we can. Like I said, there's something in surprise coming in the future. It's going to benefit you and me. So stay tuned. We really appreciate it. Remember, keep the wheels on the ground.